Wow, I almost can't believe it. It's the first ever episode of 7 on Sunday to receive 0 dislikes. I can already tell and predict in advance not a dislike in sight. It's absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for being so accepting of other people's opinions and wait, I thought I was on the top cartoon theme songs episode. Never mind, we're on the Fandoms episode. This could get ugly. What's up everyone? Welcome back to ARTV. My name is John and you're watching my weekly countdown series 7 on Sunday. Please be sure to drop a like on this video because I'm scared in advance. I've just about put 7 targets on my back by making this episode at all, so feel free to subscribe and leave a supportive comment down below. It's time to break down the 7 most toxic fandoms in the world of music. And fandoms, while they can be a great place for like-minded individuals to come together to say, oh, I'm a huge fan of this too. I obsess over this detail, this book, this film, this artist, this YouTube personality. It can be good in that sense, but can also be a breeding ground for like-minded individuals that think it's okay to do certain things, to cross lines, and to get so invested in a member's or an artist's personal life that it really just gets creepy. We're not here for the creep factor though, we are here for the 7 most toxic fandoms, and toxic in my own personal opinion can sure maybe mean annoying or pesky. They do certain things to get the artist to the top of the charts and they push over anyone in the way, but it can also mean like very bad intentions when it comes to bullying people online in the name of boosting up the artist, which oftentimes themselves are advocates for mental health and other issues, and it just seems kinda hypocritical, especially if you're like shoving like 1,000 comments suddenly down someone's throat just because they threw out a slightly negative opinion. Fandom members, if you're watching this today, I hope that you can see this and realize that I'm not talking about every single member in the fandom, and obviously there are the bad people in the fandoms that make everybody else look bad because you're associated. Not everyone in these fandoms, and in fact, most of the people in these fandoms are not bad people. They are nice people. They do good things, but there's also the people that just stand out in a horrible way because they do bad things in the name of justice for their beloved artist. Thanks for tuning in. Drop a like on this video and subscribe for the love of music. Let's go ahead and get started. Ariana Grande and the Arianators are up first. While many of the honorable mentions, I suppose, which you can see in the description down below, gave Ariana Grande a run for her money, at number 7 we have the Arianators, an incredibly pesky and annoying and petulant group that, yes indeed, are toxic. Just check any of the chart accounts, like on Twitter, you see the replies rolling in, you see all the Ariana Grande stands out there holding it down. Yeah, reason number 1 right there. Arianators seem to speak almost entirely in Stan lingo, a language which most people with half a life would have to Google to actually understand, and while there are incredible fans out there, ones that are so supportive just like with any fandom, there's also the horrible and toxic side. Now, I do have to give credit where it's due, and I feel like the Arianators, her diehards, actually got her through a very dark period in her life after the bombings at her Manchester concert, after Mac Miller passed away, a lot of stuff. They've been super supportive of the Sweetener album in addition to Thank You Next. And I feel like Ariana obviously loves her fans to death, but they seem to carry out executive orders on her behalf that she never even really ordered in the first place. It's one of those things where you can just simply log into twitter.com, see Ariana Grande's account, and you kind of see how she talks with them there, and I feel like it kind of stems from the Lady Gaga Little Monsters thing that I feel has evolved over time, but Arianators aren't quite there yet. This is definitely the smallest fandom to make the list, but don't let that fool you. They're also probably the youngest, and Waterparks are the name of the band in question. The Blondes are the name of the fandom, and I feel this was effectively crowned when lead vocalist Austin Knight tweeted out saying that this is basically what it is, why not? We'll run with this. And this pop rock band, who also fused together other elements of the quote scene, pop punk, other stuff like that, they're beloved there, but I feel that Waterparks fans are often so hostile and uninformed as well. Now, I've seen their hostility firsthand, and in fact, I think it's only gotten worse since the album Entertainment released in 2018. This is something where I feel the young people that have latched onto them see them as so relatable or so funny, sarcastic, but at the same time, even though they claim to love the sarcasm, they love the humor, they love the all caps tweets, I feel it's become super toxic because they use those same methods to attack other people, and then they let sarcasm go straight over their heads. Now, Waterparks themselves, I have no problem with at all. In fact, you probably know if you've seen the drama that went down. Myself and my girlfriend, Infinity on Hannah, had a confrontation on Twitter with Austin Knight. We smoothed things over, and in fact, we're friends now. But I feel that some people don't get the sarcasm that they exude and that they put out there. I feel like so many of Austin's tweets are intentionally outrageous, the ones from the band account as well, and then they kind of use that to go after other people who maybe don't agree with Waterparks actually being great, or they have some sort of dissenting opinion, and with them being so young and impressionable, I just worry for fandoms like this in the future. Now, I'm not much of a Beyonce fan outside of a few select albums such as Lemonade, which I thought was excellent, a few choice songs here and there. Mostly, I've just kind of kept my voice to myself on Beyonce because I'm kind of scared, low-key, to kind of prod the Beyhive. I don't know what they're capable of, except I also do know. I just don't want to know what they would do to me. It's a frustrating experience because she's so clearly a talented, powerful woman with a hell of a knack for making music, but it's often just not for me personally, not my taste, and I feel like I'm going to get crucified for even comments like that. Notoriously in the past, the Beyhive has targeted the likes of Carrie Hilson, Kid Rock, although that one was rightfully deserved because of that sexist outburst that he had in an interview randomly a long time ago with her, Amber Rose, Rachel Roy because they thought she was Becky with the good hair. The list goes on, and it's just terrifying to see the things that they either said to these people, did to these people. They tried to get them doxxed, they went after personal information, and that is fucking crossing the line. Attempting to dox people over negative comments is fucking wrong, and vicious bullying plus targeted harassment equals a horrible look for y'all plus Beyonce in general because it kind of reflects back on her. It's not her fault, that's not what I'm saying, and obviously there are calm stands out there, but overall, the Beyhive has an extreme reputation for a reason. What happens when you love shitty pop and R&B but also love supporting a domestic abuser? Why, you join Team Breezy, of course, the fandom for Chris Brown. Team Breezy gets its name from Brown's own nickname Breezy that stuck in his early years of fame after scoring hits such as Kiss Kiss, Run It, and With You. Chris Brown might be a talented voice, but he has squandered the hell out of his potential, just wasting and pissing it away on these recent projects. Heartbreak on a Full Moon. Really? You expect me to listen to 40 plus songs? No thank you, especially when the quality's not even there. Now, pushing that aside, we obviously have a group of Team Breezy stans that are so incredibly infuriating because they stand behind this man after he quite literally not just beat the shit out of Rihanna. That is something that he did, something that is on record. It's not an allegation. It happened. Other things are also documented though. Police reports for stalking, for going after other people, for pulling a gun on somebody in a nightclub, and just in general being douchebag of the year almost every single year. Yet somehow, this man still remains successful and is able to brag about stealing your girl over and over and over again. And it's largely thanks to Team Breezy, the majority of which is somehow female. He's a spoiled-ass man-child that still continues to do whatever he wants to, say what he wants to, and gets away somehow almost scot-free. He's had some arrests, he goes through all of that process, and comes out on top yet again, time and time again. And Chris Brown, I feel that the dedicated Chris Brown stans, well, there's a phrase I never thought I'd say. The dedicated stans out there are still standing him despite all of the evidence that's stacked against him. I just feel like they're the kind of group that if you lead them to a robbery, you show them the fingerprints and how they match up with the person, you even show them video surveillance footage, and they're just like, well, I don't know, that could be staged, that could have been altered, I don't think that's him. There's some people that you just can't convince of anything, but you just want to shake them and say, look at it, look at the evidence in front of your eyes, and then they just refuse to accept that and live in an alternate reality. That is what it's like being on Team Breezy, and that's why they've laid it on this list of the most toxic fandoms. What's worse than that one person that always feels the constant need to explain and justify their friends' actions? Well, an entire fandom's worth of that, and that's Nicki Minaj in a nutshell, as she has an entire group of people that constantly think that their fave is under attack and somehow underrated. Barbs is the nickname for the Nicki Minaj fandom, coming from one of her alter egos she uses when rapping or singing, and while I've personally pretty much always detested Nicki's music, it's always been the fans that have just turned me off even further, not just for me, but for thousands of others. You see the way that they behave and the way that they interact with her and defend her, even when she doesn't need defending, or maybe even when she's in the wrong. It's just a total slam door for me. One critical quip about her music or talent and they're at your throat with a switchblade, so ready to spout off facts and probably lambast you about why her album Queen should have been #1 on the album charts in America. Nicki stans, honeys, nobody is out to get you. Billboard isn't playing favorites here, and all Nicki really does is stir up drama on Twitter, Instagram, and on Queen Radio, her show that she hosts, in the hopes that people will continue to talk about her. She wants the spotlight on her. She's an attention whore, constantly desperate for anyone to be saying something about her album, for everyone to be talking about her music or her personality or her attitude and how she's underrated, which I don't see how anybody in their right mind could describe her as underrated. She's one of the top selling artists of all time, male or female, rap or not. That is indisputable, whether I'm a fan or not, which I'm not. But here, underrated? I mean, I'd hate to see what you would call an actual underrated talent like Little Sims. I truly hate to put the Skeleton Clique up so high on this list, but at number 2, we do have the 21 Pilots fandom. I've been loving 21 Pilots since 2012, since Holding On To You was released as a single, and I ended up loving Vessel after that, and the rest is history. They make awesome music, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But the fandom itself, oh boy, that is a different story entirely. There's a lingering superiority complex when it comes to the Skeleton Clique, because they think, oh, everything is so deep, we have to overanalyze everything, and we need to know every detail that's going through Tyler Joseph, the lead singer's mind. We need to know about every little aspect and world and detail that he's created. And that's not wrong in and of itself, but when you start saying to other people, oh, you don't actually like this band, you don't even know about this, you don't know what Dima is, you don't know about the story of Trench, about the Bishops, you don't know who Blurryface is, when you start attacking other people because they don't know enough information, then why would anyone ever want to get into this group? Overreaching theories are the absolute norm as they read into every situation too deeply, and the cringy stan lingo, it gets a little bit out of control. They have these different terms that they use, and there is one good one, Stay Alive. I love the fact that they check in on each other, they make sure that they're doing okay mentally, and that they know that there's other people there for them in the Skeleton Clique. But past that, it really does get bad, because there's things like Friends, and oh, Tyler is such a cute little small bean. I can't wait to see Josh shirtless at the concert. What a small bean there. He's so cute. It becomes more about their level of attraction than the music itself. The reason they're up so high is because they're such a large movement and they're so easily accessible to tons of different people. I think it's great that a lot of people do gravitate towards them because there's plenty of great messages in their music, and I love the fact that it's not just for the fans, but they do put nods to the fandom in their music, but it's not so deep that nobody can access it except for the hardcores that know every little aspect of the story and the manga and everything like that. It's not like that with P.O.P. But please, just make sure, be careful out there, don't accidentally write 21 Pilots with the numbers, you gotta put the slashes through everything with the Skeleton Clique, and I don't know, I've just had so many encounters with them. They're a huge huge movement, and I think that people gravitate towards them because whether you're a religious background or you're an atheist or you're whatever the hell you are, if you're just young and struggling with new things in life, I feel that they do have a relatable message, and that's why people come to them. But once they start growing beyond that and start to take it to the next level, things spiral out of control. BTS are a South Korean boy band that have overtaken the entire world, or at least it would seem that way due to the strength of the ARMY. BTS used to be an acronym that stood for different things over time, including Bulletproof Boy Scouts, which is seemingly where the ARMY nickname came into play. ARMY is a powerful movement, as evidenced by the probably tons of comments that you'll see on this video. If you notice a lot of profile pictures with somebody that looks like they're in a South Korean boy band or a K-pop stan in general, then you'll know that this video definitely made the rounds. There's tons of great things that many members of ARMY have done to support the music and endeavors of the beloved boy band, even charities that they've supported across the globe. But we also can't overlook the horrors committed in the name of justice that they've carried out. Stealthy barrages of tweets or Instagram comments are shoved down the throats of anyone who might voice some sort of dissenting opinion about BTS, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, unfortunately. K-pop stans in general are absolutely intolerable and make myself and thousands of others want to run in the opposite direction, far away from whatever is going on here. It's something that dives so deep, and you look out and you just see an ocean of nameless, faceless fans that live in the shadow of internet anonymity. They organize online events to block other artists on the charts. They move in hordes to take out a host who would dare to make a joke about any of them. And all around, like I said, they just make kind of people who aren't into that necessarily, but are also curious about the music and what it could be. They make us move further away. And like I said, while there's plenty of ARMY, in fact the majority of them, that are probably genuinely great people and are just there to support the likes of RM, Jungkook, and many, many more of those members, it's also the others that give obviously the bad name and make it undesirable. This was a very tough video to make, and in fact I found myself tripping over words because I didn't know exactly how to phrase things, so I hope I was able to relay my points in a somewhat respectful but also kind of telling it how it is manner. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I know this is going to be a controversial video, but keep in mind it's just my opinion plus what I have actually factually seen online. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe for the love of music.